Growth in world travel and tourism consistently outpaces global economic growth, and the World Travel and Tourism Council, WTTC, forecasts that will continue beyond the next decade. But those forecasts were called into question in a keynote address to the WTTC Global Summit here in Buenos Aires. Manuel Muñiz, Dean of the IE School of International Relations in Madrid, warned that growing inequality, a hollowing out of the middle class, and a loss of faith in democracy threatens growth, including of travel and tourism.
If you take our economic development model and you summarize it in the most simplest form possible, what that model says is, with increases in productivity that trickles down through wages, feeds and sustains a middle class of labor income earners. Now that relationship has ceased to function like it had for the last 150, 200 years. The reason why we're living through this political convulsion is a structural change to the economy, to how wealth is created and distributed. This is fundamentally produced by technology and the hollowing out of the middle class that emerging technologies are producing. That political convulsion, my thesis is, will only worsen unless we address the underlying drivers of this. And the consequence will be first the weakening and then the possible collapse of that order. First the weakening at the borders of that liberal order, ultimately the collapse of the order itself, because this might be something that undermines the system from within and makes travel, tourism, cosmopolitanism, and the movement of people much, much harder moving forward.
Muñiz was unrepentant. He warned of political convulsions, a collapse of the liberal order, and told the summit, "I'm concerned about what comes after Trump."
What comes after when these people failing at addressing the underlying issues, and what comes after, I think, is the last point that I made, this questioning not just of the elites and the political parties, but the overarching institutional architecture and the democratic systems.
Some were keen to stress the positive contribution of travel.
Tourism has been growing very strongly since 17 years, and in 16 of the 17 stronger than GDP. So it seems to be that consumers want to travel.
I don't think that the gap between productivity and wage is so massive in tourism. I really don't think that.
I think there's every reason to be optimistic about the future of travel and tourism. And remember, travel and tourism is not just international in the sense of people crossing borders, but it is domestic increasingly as well in many, many markets in the world. I think there are other powerful trends globally that give reason for optimism, even with some of the economic data which is concerning.
The changed political climate in the United States has brought a series of challenges for the sector, the latest being State Department proposals to toughen visa requirements.
The proposal is for visa applicants from non-visa waiver countries will have to share 5 years of their previous travel history and all their social media contacts. And the reason we're opposed to it is, number one, it's based on the honor system, so the bad guys are not going to tell you the truth, and the good guys are going to say too much of an inconvenience, and it will not accomplish anything that we can see that makes sense. We believe security is job number one. Without security, there is no travel. But the bottom line, just having people go through this kabuki dance doesn't make a lot of sense to us. The Trump administration, rightfully so, has been talking security. Without security, there is no travel. Simple as that. So we're very supportive of that, but what's missing is a welcoming message. We want you to come to the U.S. And so people are hearing a message that the USA may not want you. And that's not the message that we should be getting around the world. We should be saying, if you're a bad person, don't come here.